Olá, neste vídeo você vai ter todas as suas perguntas respondidas sobre cartas de vendas e copywriting. Eu encontrei de novo Paolo Garcia, aquela figura que apareceu no primeiro bate-papo feito na Polônia, e ele sabe muito sobre carta de vendas, copywriting, como validar negócio através delas. E eu encontrei ele novamente aqui em Manila, nas Filipinas, mais especificamente em Makati, que é o distrito financeiro aqui da região. E tivemos uma série de perguntas no Facebook, também nós tivemos no blog, e eu consegui sentar com ele para a gente pegar mais essas perguntas. Ele foi gentil o suficiente para poder responder todas para você. Então eu espero muito que você goste. Ele dá várias dicas sobre palavras persuasivas, né? Qual as que vendem mais. Uma dica muito interessante sobre páginas de captura, que eu acho que vocês vão se surpreender com ela. E também vocês vão aprender um pouco mais sobre alguns mitos, infelizmente, acontecem na nossa indústria. Então, eu sou o Marcos Lucas, sou fundador de diversos projetos na internet, digital nômade e agora fundador do libertaçãodigital.com. Então, realmente espero que você veja até o final esse vídeo e um grande abraço. Até mais.
Hi guys, I'm here again with Paolo Garcia. We had the first video talk on the blog and we have a lot of comments. Thank you very much for everybody who helped asking questions, and he was kind enough to actually give all the replies, and I translated some of the replies too. Thank you for giving me more work, man, come on. So, and also we had a lot of questions from our Facebook. So thank you especially for Rosangela. She asked a lot of questions, and that actually makes us more excited and motivated to keep giving free content for you guys. So please feel free to comment below. We are friendly, we're not gonna buy it, so that's really easy. Thank you, Paolo Garcia.
Thank you. Thank you guys.
Exactly. And exactly, we are here in Manila. Right now is almost 1 in the morning, and I'm recording this video for you. So if you don't comment below, no more videos. So let's go for the first questions. And by the way, if you didn't see the first video with Paolo Garcia, it's on the blog. It's called in Portuguese Bate-papo número 1. And there you can see that he's was a poker player, copywriter, and have been working with sales letters and copywriting for around 2 years. So he knows a lot about it. So let's go for the questions. We have a bunch of them, and you're gonna try to cover all of them, but I'm not sure if you're gonna have time to do it. So the first question is from Josh Blocking. The first question is, copywriting is really important for any kind of business, and I'd like to know more about a product that can teach how to write better headlines. So can you give some tips for Josh on headlines so he can improve his business?
So if you notice a lot of headlines, you'll see some that are super hypey, super long, and it's not really all about length or how hypey you make a claim. It's all about believability. So some of the best headlines are the one that you insert your biggest proof element into the headline. So for instance, there's these two, they ran a split test before on this headline. It's one, tension headache, and it was like a question mark. And the other one was, when doctors have headaches, what do they do? Which one do you think is going to be read? Which headline do you think is going to outperform the other one?
The second one.
The second one, the doctor, the element of, there's a trusted source of people, and there's also a lot of things going on in that headline. One, the believability, what do doctors do, and that curiosity element, what do they do? And then also you're thinking, they know something I don't know, and it could benefit me. So in that headline, there's 3 lessons. There's the curiosity, the benefit, and there's a proof element in it. So if you could add those 3 things into your headline, it's going to be so much more powerful compared to something like tension, headache, question mark.
Oh, that's a really great tips. Thank you for sharing. And again, he has been doing that for 2 years, and if he can increase the conversion rates of his clients, then he gets paid. So that's a lot of testing and understanding psychology that's need to be used for this kind of job. So another one that's from Alex Brito, that's actually not a question. Well, thank you for the first video talk. Paolo Garcia, really surprised on his vision and the way he works with sales letters. Congratulations again, Marcus. Okay, that was not a question, but thank you. Cool, Alex. He's like, sometimes he's sending me messages on Facebook. Cool question, and that's from so far our favorite member that asked a lot of questions. Rosângela de Mello, thank you very much. So this is the questions for Paolo. The first talk was really cool. Paolo and Marcus, I have seen a lot of stuff online, and I followed some content that was shown on the internet, but I don't have a list, and I want to know more how I can become a better professional and a better affiliate. And my question is, what's the first step I need to do? Copywriting seems one of the many topics of this profession, but how do I start? So thank you very much for the question. He's going to give the first step that he thinks, and I'm going to give my opinion after.
Okay, sure. First of all, great question. For me, the first step is really to just get the first sale as fast as possible with minimum time investment, minimum money investment, ideally zero if possible. And that's really all you have to do, get that first sale. So you could start with a couple of things. You could start with what you know, or you could go into industry without knowing anything at all. Like I've done both. Like for instance, copywriting consultants. One thing I did was just, I went on a forum and said, ask me anything. Ask me anything about copywriting. And then I said, you know, I'll just give you stuff for free, and then if you want me to hire me, you know, cool, I'll take your money too, right?
Wow.
And then that's when people start messaging me like, cool, how much to work with you? You're like, okay, and then all of a sudden I'm getting offers for people that want me to write their copy. So that's how I started. So if you don't have a list or anything, there's a whole bunch of virtual lists online, forums. One thing I recently did is LinkedIn groups. If you go on LinkedIn, you could find any industry, type it in the search bar, click on groups on the side, and then there's literally people build lists for you for free. You could just go and randomly message people, connect with them, share discussions, and then you could build your list and then also validate ideas like that.
Yeah, that's amazing tips. And actually it's not that hard when you know all the steps. And as the first talk, Paulo was saying, like if you really know copy, how to write a sales letter, very structured way with all the triggers. And it's something that just a few people in the world can do really well, and they're paid amazingly well. Because that's what makes a sale, right?
And most of them you don't even know. Like all the headlines and stuff you see on the magazines right before you're checking out and shopping in the grocery store, those guys get paid so much money. You don't even know them.
Yeah, and even my mentor in Go Somewhere,
Oh, okay.
like nobody knows him,
Yeah.
but he's making, I cannot tell his numbers though. Yeah, so one of my advice for like any kind of person that wants to start businesses, and both of the views are valid. They're different strategies, but both are really valid. One is actually try to build your product for a lot of reasons. People, they just want to make sales as an affiliate, but sometimes you're promoting someone and they just take the product out of the market. So you don't have that much control unless you actually have all the schedule, the yearly schedule of those people that are creating the products, so you can promote efficiently. But it's really hard to do that. You need to be in some kind of level in which they are very trusty, they like trust you in order to open up all the schedule and the strategy so you can follow just promoting them. So building your own product is, I believe, is very, very important. You can associate with someone, can have someone to build a product for you and you do the marketing, and that's actually an easier way to view it. And at the same time, when you have your own customers, what's going to happen is now other people that have products going to trust you also, because you need to deal with, you know, like sometimes like customer service, talking to them, making them feel happy. So that's my view on this market. Let's go to the following question. She asked more questions. Let's see another one, because she's so cool. Thank you.
Yeah, great questions.
Rosângela again. I bought a domain name and I'm preparing for my first post on my blog, and so I can do the shift on this profession. And I'm trying really hard to create a video presentation where I talk about myself in this first post. I bought a microphone, so I can communicate over Skype, and now the next step is to pass my blog into a paid version, probably using WordPress.com. So I'm gonna post again more questions. So do you have like any tips on her on blogging and copywriting?
On blogging, well, usually it's all about the headlines too. There's a copywriting element right there. No one's going to read an article that they're not interested in. And the first thing that captures someone's interest and their attention is the headline. Like I know you know this because you read a blog, and all your headlines are, you don't just write them out and you wish that something's going to happen. You actually think there's a reason the way you write something. It's grab interest. So they can click it and they open it. And then from there, either subscribe to your blog or do whatever action they want you to take.
One of the tips here is that I have is lists. People love lists. Like 3 steps to do something. The last one was my 5 favorite offices in Koh Samui. So having like a list element, people gonna know, okay, like I'm gonna have 3 things, not a bunch of text with no structure. One question from Duane Rodriguez. He's a really cool guy. He actually was my client before, and he's one of the top most sold in Hotmart. It's Brazilian ClickBank. So his question is regarding sales letters. The biggest conversion rate that he has is from irresistible offer, and when he's going to structure the sales letters, what converts more, a video describing it, or would be a text description of the offer?
Okay. Usually you'll see a trend on right now. If you do go on Hotmart, or even if you go on ClickBank, the American version, all those top vendors, you'll see them running a video sales letter. It's no longer the long text. But what people usually don't realize is that all those video sales letters, they were once a sales letter, most likely in its first version. To prove that, even if you just click away, let's say you click away, there's an exit pop-up saying, please stay, and usually there's like a save whatever %, right?
Yeah.
If you click away from that, usually they'll redirect you to the original sales letter in written form. You will see that a lot on ClickBank. I don't know if that's the case in Hotmart, but usually all those video sales letters, those are written copy first. So whether or not they convert more depends on your market, but usually video sales letters do convert more.
But again, you need a copywriter
to
write those scripts for the videos.
Yeah, you can't just get a video guy because he doesn't know how to sell. You got to know how to write that copy first.
Yeah, exactly. So let's go on. One question is from Edge Tolentino. Thank you very much for the question. I have a doubt regarding squeeze pages. I saw studies that say that images of beaches on the background converts more, doesn't matter which niche market. And other people say they need to inspire the prospect with an image that's related to your niche. What do you think about it?
My take is that while that may be true, images are not the most important thing in boosting your opt-in conversions. The most important thing is the quality where that lead comes from. What is the quality of the source that lead is coming from? For instance, if you're just posting on Facebook groups that are pretty spammy, maybe your opt-in conversion rate might not be as high as compared to if you went to LinkedIn groups and where everybody was having high quality discussion. For instance, I replied actually on there, and I have screenshots showing, they don't show for some reason MailChimp doesn't capture opt-in conversion rates, but when we were capturing leads from manta.com, which is like a directory, and we're cold emailing these guys,
Can you explain what's cold emailing?
Okay, cold emailing is like you never had a discussion with that person before. This is the first time you're emailing them. So that you call it cold because I'm asking him to opt into something and that we've never met before, for instance.
They have the cold calls in America or any kind of telemarketing industry. When you receive those calls, they normally are really annoying.
Yeah.
Of someone calling you, that's from the bank, do you want to open an account or something like that. Like they don't know you and they just send a message or call you. So what happened?
So cold emails, compared to when we're cold emailing people via directories, our conversions are so low. We use something called Tout app to see what our open rates were, and they're so low, dude. Like not even worth doing anymore. Once we saw the stats, we just quit there. So what we did instead was go on LinkedIn groups, join the group, and then we see all these active members having all these active discussions, and we just connect with them, and then from there we message them. And our LinkedIn conversion rates, they were like 30 to 40%. So all those people, 30-40% is so much higher compared to something you'll get maybe online, like, I don't know what people are getting right now.
Yeah.
Depends on the source. Like I said, it's not the images so much, because our opt-in for that was a blank white page with a headline, and that's it, and the email bar, and that's it.
Yeah, so the traffic source is very, very important. And sometimes it just doesn't make sense if you have a public speech course, you're going to have a beach in the background. Like sometimes it doesn't, like going to give a public speech on the beach, doesn't make really much sense. So again, try to get a really good traffic source for the squeeze page. That's a great tip from Paolo. And on my business too, when it, like groups, LinkedIn and Facebook, they're amazing because first they're free, and second, like there are people discussing. It's already a built-in community on that where people share trust. We have another question, and that's a really cool question. That's from Nick Gabriel. He was the guy that interviewed Tim Ferriss on the London Real YouTube channel. Thank you very much, Nick. He's a really cool guy. And his question is, ask Paolo if the market is starting to fatigue from long-form sales letters. Paolo, your view on that?
For people that are not heavily used to direct marketing, like such as long sales copy, they're going to be fresh. That's something that's never hit them. They're going to be used to too much brand advertising and nothing personal, nothing that got the offer straight to them. So do I think those people are going to get fatigued? No. In general, people that are used to long video sales letters, that's still technically long copy. Are they getting fatigued? No. Top vendors are there using video sales letter all the time. You'll see them even go for hours on end, like The End of America, which was one video sales letter by Porter Stanberry, that investment company, that ran for over an hour. So are people getting tired of long sales copy? I don't think so. Will they ever? I don't think so. It's kind of like if someone wants to know something, they're going to want to know everything about it. The people that didn't want to know everything about it in the first place probably weren't your best prospects in the first place. So
that's a really good question, because even though if it's a video sales letter or if it's a written sales letter, the first thing you need to write it, the whole script normally, so that, or if you don't write, you need to know what kind of emotional triggers you need to do along the way. And that's a really cool answer. Thank you very much, Paolo.
Thank you for the question. That was a great question, because you see that argument all the time. And to be honest, I don't think there's ever argument that long copy is ineffective.
Nowadays we have like so many myths about this industry, and we're going to talk a little bit more about it later, because what we need to actually do if you're starting or like intermediate level is like know what things really work, getting real data, or like what's the most sold products on ClickBank or Hotmart are doing, right? What strategies they're using. And most people, it comes some kind, like somehow it's a hype sometimes. Some products, they're very complicated to use, and people are spending like a lot of money for that. So like just be really careful when you get information from some gurus out there. Okay, I have another question here, and that's from Michael Ricci, and he's from Minas Gerais, Brazil, and he's asking, ask if there's any kind of perfect script that you can use in any kind of sales letters, in what kind of words and sentences are more persuasive.
Okay, for starters, is there a perfect script? I wouldn't say there's a perfect script, but there's a formula that's pretty damn close to getting, if you just followed a certain formula, you could pretty much have it fit into any industry. So for there's a formula. We could talk about that later or something. As far as words, there is one word that is really good at converting, but most people don't even know it. and it's so simple. There's actually been a study on this word, right? The whole, should I say the word now, or is everyone?
Yeah, like
the word's
killing me, man.
The word is because. Because. It's so sneaky, but they did this experiment. If you read the book, I'm not sure if it's Influence that they talked about the
Robert?
word. Yeah,
Cialdini,
Robert Cialdini. Yeah. I'm not sure if it was in that book, but there was this experiment they did, right, where they have, for instance, 5 people in line for a copying machine to get Xerox copies, and this lady would ask them, "Excuse me, can I cut in line because I need to make copies for, and I'm in a rush, right? I need to make copies." Right? And then people were like, "Yeah, sure." Like 90% or more were saying, "Yeah, sure, go ahead," right? And people were saying, or the scientists doing the experiment were thinking like, "Oh, it's probably because she has a good reason, right?" And then they decided, you know what? I don't think so. Let's try it a different way. And then this time she asked the people in front of her, Can I make copies because I have to make copies?" Everyone has to make copies in that line, right?
Yeah.
So people were like, "Yeah, let's do it." It was just like that simple word, right? Because they found out that just that one word, I mean, you see it. In fact, I know I believe Simon was using that. And on his opt-in, it's just always said because.
Yeah, and even my mentor,
yeah,
he also explained me about using that on the pain points.
Oh, really?
Yeah. Okay, let's go to the next question. That's a great tip.
Of course.
Yeah, try using that.
That came from me. That's
Okay, get this far up.
Oh, come on.
Okay, so the next question is from Rafael Abelan, and he asks that his biggest question is regarding how, like when you're writing a sales copy, what's the limit between persuasion and aggression? How he can be persuasive on his offer and not be too aggressive? How he can say about the pain points of the prospect in a way that doesn't cause more pain or embarrassment, but he's still taking action to buy the product? That's a really good question.
Okay, it's kind of like 2 questions. One, like aggression versus persuasion, and the other one was how not to embarrass them, kind of.
Yeah.
So let me just address the first one. Persuasion. First of all, persuasion isn't yelling. You're not yelling or forcing someone to buy. You're just trying to give them a clear idea of what the problem is and how you can help solve it for them. That's all it is.
If you have a good product.
Yeah, well, yeah,
please,
exactly.
Don't try sell. You can sell crap with all this information, but please don't do it.
Usually, the difference is people that are selling crap products, they're trying to force someone to buy them because no one wants them.
Yeah.
But if you have something that's so great, it's all you have to do is just present it clearly, and then sales easier.
Yeah.
So the limit, when I write copy, I'm not forcing anyone to do anything. I'm just targeting the people that have the problem the most, that I can help them with, and then clearly describe how I can help them. That's it.
Exactly. That's a really good question. And what about the second part?
How not to embarrass them?
Yeah. Or should you embarrass them a little bit?
There's a thing. I know your mentor. Your mentor talks this, where you say it's not their fault. You say, and then you
Okay, let's give like your opinion. I don't want to put my mentor in the middle of that.
My opinion. Yeah, you're not telling someone. There's a thing, because people always have lies they tell themselves, right? For instance, if someone's trying to lose weight, they'll always say an excuse, right? And is it their fault? Is it not? Maybe it's their fault, maybe it isn't. Or maybe they just haven't found your product yet. So you're not really trying to embarrass them, but more like saying, I understand where you're coming from. And maybe, you know what, all those stuff didn't work because, the word because,
yeah.
And then you present your thing. So you're not trying to really embarrass them. When you agitate the pain, you're not embarrassing someone. You're just clearly describing what they're going through. And then how maybe that, whatever they've experienced so far, they haven't found a solution for it. But maybe you have it.
Yeah. And that's so true, because normally, and they have this study, right? And I really don't want to offend anyone. It's this study that was talking about it, was regarding people that are very obese. Normally they say that they have a genetic problem to feel more comfortable with the situation, and they had a study there like 95% were completely normal. So that's the thing, like we as human beings, we put excuses on our heads to do something, to learn the language, to learn English, learn to get better in relationships, to have a more abundant life, and sometimes we need to make them realize that that's a limiting belief. If they keep believing that, there's going to be like no better growth in their lives. And that's also like for money, for
everything. Beliefs are everything.
Yeah. And now we have a few international questions. One from India, Mumbai. Somehow is asking, I have gone through his copy which he sent me. I don't know which copy. I think it was one regarding to a coffee copy.
Yeah, he asked me, can I see example of one of your copy for a client? I said sure, and I sent him one I did for a guy that was selling coffee online.
Okay. Yeah, so his question is like, where do you get all the details? Like the coffee copy, he has so many specific details. How he get the specific minute detail? Does he the research himself before writing the copy, or what happened there?
Yeah, so the thing is, when you're writing copy, the weakest copy you'll see are the ones without specifics, the ones without details, the ones that are more hypey. The good copy that you'll really see are the ones from people that did the research.
Mm-hmm.
The best copywriters did all the research first.
I see.
I could say like Eugene Schwartz, before he wrote a product, he'd get all the notes from that book multiple times and read them. So as far as getting the research, you have to, one, know the product. You have to know the product. Two, you have to talk to the person that made the product. If you didn't make it, you have to talk to that person. If you made it, well then you have to go through it again and make sure you know everything. You have to talk to the market. You have to know what they want and everything. So really, how do I get the specifics? I talk to people. I talk to the founder. I talk to the people that, potentially who's going to buy it. That's it. That's really copy. You have to know the market. You have to know everything.
And that's amazing that he said that, because there's so many people that send me messages and they say, can I be an affiliate? And they didn't buy the product. That is, how can they promote effectively? And they're not going to destroy the image that like all the effort or putting up like free information, research, they can destroy really easily. So first buy the product, know it. Any other tips on that?
That's an amazing point, because when I first was starting out, I did start as an affiliate, and when you see other competing affiliates, you'll see no value pages, or you can tell they didn't sell the product.
Amazing. Okay, we have a question from, thank you Samal, all the way from India. Wow.
Samal.
So Henry Yamamoto, ask him if there's any book that you recommend him to read. What kind of, is there like any one particular book or a few books that would be helpful for anyone watching?
Okay, if I could recommend one thing on marketing and copywriting, it's the Gary Halbert letter. I think it's the GaryHalbertLetter.com. But
Okay.
this guy was a legend in direct marketing and copywriting. And I started from there. That's how I discovered direct marketing. I don't know how. I remember just going online and reading one newsletter and I got hooked. And you could find a compilation of all of them put together. I mean, I would start there, read one issue a day. That's it. There's some recommended books in there, but if you just stuck with that newsletter, you'd be fine.
Okay,
Yeah.
awesome. Okay, now I just realized we have more questions inside our private Facebook group that I didn't publish yet. Some people are there. So please don't get mad at me. We're gonna make it probably public pretty soon. Felipe Trombini, he gave a contribution. It's not actually a question, but it can turn into a question. Inside the group we were discussing about A/B testing, split testing, and the background images, and he was saying, oh, this discussion is pretty cool. Doing more tests, we end up like really seeing like which one converts more. I'll probably do a bunch of pages to test it. Sometimes not the background, but sometimes the headline or the button or the free gift they're gonna give. So what do you think about this comment?
What's important? The headline, the button, or the gift?
Yeah, what's the main points on this squeeze page that you can test it?
The three major components are the list. So we talked about this before, the traffic source or the leads. Then it's the offer. Then it's the copy. So then I would first focus on the traffic source. Then what kind of free giveaway am I giving? Does it match the people from that traffic source? Does it match what they want? And then lastly, I test the headline. So from there, that's how I would test it.
And that's amazing because I received like so many comments who got like so much stuff that I have no idea about. But one person said, oh man, like I sent around like 50 people to that website and didn't convert. Like first 50 is not that many people. Second is how you're sending those people and from which source. There's one time one guy from frangonerd.com or .net in Brazil. He has this like comedy website. He posts like funny stuff, right? So I was able to recruit him as an affiliate, put some banners on the top, and there's like a lot of traffic on the website. And that was like 2 years ago when I was just starting. It's like, yeah, like put my banner, let's see, maybe you're gonna make some sales. And he drove like thousands of people and no sale at all. So that's why like the traffic source is very, very important. And next time when you tell any person, oh, I just send a lot of traffic towards you, sometimes like, how are you sending the traffic to them? Okay, I think we can probably wrap it up. Do you want to talk a bit more about like myths on the industry?
You know, I really see copywriting, it's only hard if you make it hard. It's really, could be really simple. I mean, I see questions like, I don't know how to say her name,
Rosangela.
She asks really good questions, right?
Yeah.
Especially starting out. And when you're starting out, you know, you can just start simply, right? Just like a sales letter, and just throw traffic at it and see people buy. And I see the problem is that people try to make it too complicated. You know, especially if you're just starting out and beginners, they try to get every little thing perfect, or they try to add too many elements to make it hard. You'll see that all the time, like launches and stuff like that. You'll see people do multiple videos, multiple emails just to one sales letter. And what people don't realize is that, one, not only are you making it hard on yourself, you're adding all these different variables that can change your sales, and you don't know which of those one things, and there's multiple things in just one step that could change everything.
Yeah, that's the complicated thing like right now. Like, and of course there's like curiosity from new kind of strategies and starting out too, because when you have one simple like sales letters, like it can be like one page or one long video, you have less variables to control the conversion rate. For example, like headline, the offer, the pain points. So we have just those variables you can control, and it can split test. You can do testing with different versions. But now if you have like multiple videos, like 20 videos on the sales funnel, or even 3, each video gonna have the same variables. So it's gonna be like way more complex. And then you're gonna have people subscribing, and then you need to keep sending the emails, but they want to buy before the cart opens, and sometimes they don't receive the email. Sometimes they just got tired, and especially, you know, there's a lot of things that you need to concern when you're doing like a proper launch. For example, which voice you're gonna use, how you're gonna present yourself. Because sometimes, you know, like people are gonna judge you in 3 seconds. Because I didn't like him, I'm gonna close. Or, oh, it's too boring, like he's not so energetic. So that's more complicated. And one of the things that we can see here is just seeing real data in the world. And the most sold products in Hotmart right now, they're códigodatração.com.br, topafiliados.com.br, segredosdoedicentes.com.br, queima de 24 horas, não, de 48 horas.com, emagrecer de vez, like one lose weight program.com, and they're all one video sales letters, making it simple. Even topafiliados.com.br, just one long sales letter, making it really simple because it's easier to measure and improve the results in the future. And there was another one that I think you showed me yesterday. There was a sales letter in text that was selling a mastermind for $25,000 a year.
There's a club, right? High level, usually self-made people. And there's
Self-made people is self-made millionaires.
Yeah, for the most part. And to join that club, as far as I know, 2000, I think it was 11, that letter was written. That cost $25,000 per year. And it's a simple, long, it's not simple, but it's a long sales letter. It looks plain. It's just like a letter on the internet. The letter on a website. It doesn't look fancy. There's no fancy graphics. There's no video, and it's really just shows the power of copywriting. You're reading words, and people are going to give you $25,000. And that's not even the highest thing I've seen people sell through copywriting. You know what I mean? Like, really, it's if you know copywriting, you know how to get the message across. You know how to get and exchange value with another person. You could get whatever you want.
Yeah, we're gonna be showing here that copy. So that's why it's just understanding that, you know, sometimes the market or some people gonna try to push me stuff. They're gonna say, oh, sales letters, people can just scroll down, and you know, but a lot of people want to read about the product first. If you're gonna buy an iPhone and want to see like how much memory it has, you know, need to make comparisons, and that comes to another question. And I'm sorry, like, I don't know who asked the question, was how long should a sales letter or a video sales letter be? You go first on that one.
Well, I mentioned before, like, get a video sales letter. It's from the same guy, I think, who started Atlas 400. I think his name is Porter Stanberry. He did that super successful End of America campaign. And that was a video sales letter. That was more than an hour long. So technically someone's watching like a movie, right?
Yeah.
So the difference between long sales copy, there's no limit to it. The only thing people should worry about, here, I always follow this advice. It's not long copy that's bad. It's long-winded copy, meaning copy that is boring, copy that isn't a match to what they're needing. If you don't do your research, if you don't know how to write copy in the formula, well, it doesn't matter how short or long you write it. This person's not interested. It doesn't matter if it's short or long.
Yeah, that's true. And one thing one of the tips that someone gave me was a good sales letter is as long as it takes someone to buy it. And some people are ready to buy, they're hot leads, they're ready to buy, and some cold leads, you need to start triggering the emotions in the proper way, structured way, so that they can make the sale. Let's give some examples on the most sold products in America. And ClickBank, that is using a long video sales letter or long sales letter, truthaboutapps.com.
Truth about apps. I know in sales that guy does more than $1 million a month. US a month.
We're going to put the link down here on Tim Ferriss' blog.
Yeah, Tim Ferriss interviewed him.
Yeah,
and he talked about that, right? All it is one long video sales letter. If you exit it, you'll see the copy version. I believe if you exit, you'll see the copy version. So the video sales letter, it just shows it again. It's based off copy. It's based off a script first. Usually that's what happens. They hire copywriters to write the script, and then they just convert it to a video. Other products that are using video sales letter, it's easy. You could go on ClickBank, click on the marketplace, pick a category. The top ones in health, they always change, but I know Diet Solution Program, that's a video sales letter. That's long video sales letter based on copy. There's other ones in the health fitness that it's kind of funny because you'll see one. There's just one, I forgot what product it was. I think the name is some guy named Randy or something. But the video sales letter is on the top, and then below it, there's like copy. So it's like an animated video sales letter,
It's
and then
hybrid.
it's crazy.
Yeah.
So that's one.
Hybrid. Yeah, like even Eben Pagan on last year's launch was like a long video, of course. Like Eben Pagan, if you guys know him, he was Dave D'Angelo, and he gave training courses in several different fields, and he is like the face man of the business. It was a long video sales letter, and he sold for a training course $2,000 or $3,000. So it does work. And I'm gonna give one last tip for everybody. There was a research on how we can improve how believable what you're saying is on a copywriting, on a sales letter, or in any message you want to give, on a presentation, whatever. It's a study from Aaron J. Newman from Victoria University. If you make any kind of claim, can be like any kind of sentence, if you put an image beside it, that's going to be way more believable. And you can apply that for like anything, and even on sales letters. So we're gonna see sales letter, video sales letter that use some images to increase the believability, the trust of that product. So you can use that on your videos, on your copy, or anything else. So Paolo Garcia, you have like one last tip or a last message for everybody, because now it's probably 40 minutes.
Yeah, good tip. Keep following us. Keep following Marcus. You'll learn more. And I'm sure in the future he's going to have more great people that can share some even more valuable tips. Yeah.
Yeah, and again, guys, feel free to comment below. Of course, like for me, it's a lot of work to get him to also reply. Right now, we're in Manila, Philippines, but I'm going to try to do my best to translate everything, all his answers. But if I don't do right away, like I'm going to do, it just might take some time because I'm a bit busy. So thank you very, very much. Paolo, was really awesome. Thank you.
Thank you.
And awesome. Thank you for like sharing like.
Thank you guys for the questions.
Yeah. Thank you guys, and see you guys soon. Comment below or subscribe. Take care.